Well, welcome everyone. It is Thursday night and it is our Empowering Healthy Women 30-minute time. And we're just, it's really become like my favorite 30 minutes of the week. And also, this is JoJo Bennington. I guess I just assume everyone knows who I am, but that's not always true. So glad to have you all here. And so why we do this every week is because my friend and partner Liddy, and in this business and life, we are, her and I were sitting around talking about where we lack in our little society and our women's sisterhood, and what we need to lift us up all the time. And so we really felt that it was going to be really helpful to create a safe space where we could get together, talk about women's issues, talk about things that are important to us, talk about things that, the guys don't want to hop on and chat about, but we can create a sisterhood community. And so say hi, Liddy, just wave at us, and she just popped on. And so the past couple of weeks, we've been chatting about gut health and candida and things like that. And we've actually had some really great feedback, and we've been able to put some good content in the page, and both of the recordings are there. Liddy gave us some great information, and there are things that we want to present to you going further in that conversation. It's not going to happen this week though, because we want to be able to get all of our ducks in a row and be able to give you guys the best information that we can. And so what we've done is for tonight, and I'm so excited to be able to introduce you all to our guest tonight, who is not only absolutely gorgeous and fit herself, but she is a certified fitness instructor, personal trainer, and she spends her life, she's a runner, so that'll be good for some of the runners that are on here. And she is so willing to talk to us about food and diet and how we fuel our body and what a workout looks like. And so some of those things, and then, she just kind of hopped in here last minute. So we want to thank her for putting her on the spot last minute. And Miss Kathy Lamarr, say hi to everybody. And I'm going to hope that we have sound.
Hey, can you hear me?
And we don't. So that's okay. So if you want to dial in, I'm going to send you the link to dial in. Or if you can go on the event invite, you'll be able to see the, hang on a second, you guys, we'll get this together.
Sorry.
Sometimes it's just technical issues. It's just how it works. And we're so patient. So somebody unmute and just tell us how you've been enjoying the calls for the last little while.
Go to your chat.
Anybody, somebody, hop in, help me out while I'm doing this.
So do I go here?
I can hear them.
You can hear me?
I can hear you.
Why am I the only one I can hear?
Yeah, I can hear him, Jojo.
Everyone can hear me? But Jojo, you know.
Nobody hopped in to help me out. Why am I the only, cannot hear anybody or what? You know what? Everyone can hear but me, right? Because my computer's muted out. Oh my gosh. It's me. It's me. Oh, you know what? I will tell you what. It took me like a whole 3.5 minutes to figure that out, right? And so that is why
you need an IT guy.
I do totally need an IT. That's so funny because Austin's on his way over here to fix my computer. So, oh my gosh, more than an IT guy. I need way more than that. But so thank you guys for not judging my hair and my no makeup. And yeah, I'm just,
I just went running.
Express. So good. Well, I'm so glad that it was me and not you. Cool.
Me too.
And I'm like, why is no one talking? There, you know why? Because my computer's muted out. That's exactly why. Okay.
Well, hey,
you don't have to be smart to do this.
See, now everyone knows they can do it and they're not afraid to mess up.
Right.
Hey, I think they need to have a guys call, like with guys to get on and just talk.
I agree. I do. So Carl and Vinny are going to put those together, right?
Yeah, right.
I agree.
Right.
I agree.
Well, I'm excited to be here, JoJo.
Well, we're excited to have you here.
Well, do you want me to just go ahead and get started?
Yeah, just jump right in because we're already running late, and we do this 30 minutes and we cut it at 6, and so we're already like way into this. So
okay,
we want to hear all the good stuff you have for us.
Well, I just kind of threw some notes together, so please interject. I think a lot of time, everyone on this call is at a different place in their journey, right? Their life journey, whether that's working out, whether that's nutrition, eating, anything. We're all at a different place. So I'm going to go over just a few things that I picked up over the years. I've been on this for probably a good 13, 14-year journey that I've been learning and picking things up. And you guys, JoJo said that I was a personal trainer, and you guys, I just barely got my certification this past week. And it's kind of crazy because I don't even know how many people I'm going to go train at a gym, but I want to use it to be able to help the clients that I'm already helping with nutrition and things like that. But I am a person that loves to learn. I want to learn constantly something. So I've just taken all these certifications and little things like that because it's what I love to do. So I want to just share a few things that I have learned. And I want to touch on a few bullet points of things that are important, not only for workout performance, but life performance. Because again, we're all here, we're all in a different part in our journey. And so not everything's going to apply to everyone. And I didn't learn this, you guys. I didn't learn the things I know in 6 months or a year or even 5 years. It's just bits and pieces I've learned over the years. So I want to talk about food first, and then I'll just touch on the other things because food is such an important fuel for our bodies. So if you had a super nice Mercedes or some special kind of car, you probably wouldn't take it down to the Jiffy Lube to get the oil change. You probably wouldn't just put, the cheapest, you wouldn't buy gas from just any source. You would buy good gas, that good quality gas, because this is a high performance car, right? So you're going to put the good things into it to get the best performance out of this car. Well, that's what I want you to think about doing for your body, is putting good things to get the best performance out of your body. And it doesn't matter whether you run marathons, you walk around the block, or you go to work and don't even work out. You want to put the best fuel in your body to get the best out of it, right? So a few things I want to talk about is putting those good things in. And I want you to think about real food, right? We always talk about putting whole food in your body. Well, what's whole food? That's kind of vague to me, but I want to put real food in my body. Real food, I want to put lean meat, lean poultry. I want to do organic fruits and vegetables. And back to meat, I have this thing that I like the cage-free chicken. I like all those little extra things that that make everything, all the food you buy, a little more expensive, right? A lot of people just go in there and say, well, that's more expensive. But I want to put good food in my body. And I believe that food or animals that are treated humanely, that have sunshine and things like that, their bodies, they have hormones and things in their body just like we do. And when they're not treated well, they have cortisol, right? Cortisol is released into their body. Well, when it's released into their body, I'm going to eat that food and it's going to be in my body. So I want to put good, nutritious food in my body. And it doesn't mean you have to eat meat or whatever. You can be vegetarian. And I was vegetarian for quite a few years, and I really actually liked it. It was kind of hard with my family because they weren't. but I really focused on putting good vegetable sources of protein, plant proteins in my body. And, you know, if you are vegetarian, I want to really make, you know, encourage you to make sure that you have complete protein. So many people eat vegetable or eat vegetarian, but eating vegetarian to them is having a pizza with no meat on it, just having a vegetable pizza. And you guys, there's no nutrition in a pizza, period. I mean, you know, so you want to, if you're going to eat vegetarian, eat healthy vegetarian, eat your complete protein. And we were talking earlier about amino acids. You want to, there's essential amino acids and there's non-essential amino acids that your body needs. The essential ones are the ones that aren't made by your body. So you need to consume those from food. And so you need to make sure that you want to have that complete protein, right? When you're vegetarian, you want to have that complete protein. So if you're going to have whole grain toast, you want to have peanut butter with it, or if you, beans and rice is a complete protein. So you want to make sure that you really know what you're doing and kind of research that so that you're putting the good nutrients into your body. There are a few things that I avoid at all cost, right? Oh, wait, going back to the vegetables, I want to go back to the fruits, organic fruits and vegetables, right? I believe that food, like all things in life, food has a vibration. And they say that fruits and vegetables actually vibrate, have the highest level of vibration. And you can probably imagine what has the lowest point of vibration. What kind of food? That's processed food. So you want to stay away from that and put good vibes into your body, right? So a few things that I purposely avoid, and that is things like MSG, high fructose corn syrup, a lot of those preservatives and additives and chemicals that these processed foods or these industrial type things that have been introduced to us and have taken over our real food. Another thing I stay away from is like vegetable oil, things like that. That's, you guys, that was an industrial oil that was brought about or introduced, you know, during the industrial age. It's terrible for you. I could go on all day about that. So that's just a few things that I would definitely avoid. And for as far as working out, you know, it's super important to put good nutrition into your body because you are just working hard. You're tearing down those muscles. You want to rebuild those best muscles, and muscles are made of protein. So you want to consume good, high quality protein to rebuild those muscles and help you get back to normal, right? You want to recover. And there's different kinds of, you know, we're all, like I said, we're all on different spectrums of the workout. So you don't have to, you want to, so, you know, there's different workouts, right? So a workout to JoJo might be different than a workout to me. A workout to me might be like, you know, an hour and a half at the gym, and a workout to JoJo might be, you know, a yoga. I mean, yoga's a workout, right? So you want to put the good nutrients in your body, but they all kind of require different amounts. So you want to also look at, you know, putting, but I always put good protein no matter what kind of workout, right?
let me ask you a question. So when you say a complete protein, so can you give us like what that looks like? So give me a list of like 5 or 6 complete proteins. Well,
that reminds me of like quinoa. Quinoa is excellent because it's the only grain that is a complete protein. And like I said, peanut butter and whole grain toast, beans and rice. Those sometimes they have different ones have different amino acids in them that you want to put together. And you can consume all you want of one food, but that food's not going to have all those essential, amino acids that you need. And if you're lacking in these over here, you're not going to have the complete chain to build the muscle. That's why I love like protein shakes, because they are a complete protein. I don't have to look at a food and say, well, okay, that's not a complete protein. What have I got to eat with that so that it is complete? So, it's just, and meats, of course, are complete protein, and eggs and things like that. So they're an easy no-brainer that people like to go to. So that's when I brought up that vegetarian, you have to, when you don't eat meat, you don't have those easy go-to sources. You need to make sure that you put other things with. And I can even give you a list of them if you want me to put in the group, certain ones that are complete protein. Because that's all I can think of off the top of my head. Because again, I focus on the shape. I'm lazy, right? I'm lazy. So what else was I saying? Anyway, there's a couple other things that I want you to remember. And it's not just food that to fuel your body. There's other things that are super important that you need to include to get the best performance out of your body, right? You want to have sleep, and you want to have a good attitude. So I want to talk for just a second about how having a good attitude and having belief in yourself and your goals, right? You want to have clarity in your goals. You want to know what you're going after. And it's super important to have belief in yourself. Years ago, well, not years ago. So I went on a long, last year, my goal was to run a half marathon every month of the year. And that was my goal, because I figured that if I ran a half marathon every month, that I would keep in shape rather than running one and then 6 months later having to gear back up. So I figured that was my goal. I was going to stay in good shape all the time so that I could just run one at the drop of a hat. So I did that, and it was fun. It was really fun. But then I decided, you know what? I want to pick up my speed. I got a new goal. I want to run a 5K. I hadn't done a lot of short races like 5Ks or 10Ks. So I wanted to run a 5K, and it had been years since I had run one, and I wanted to improve my time. So I focused every single day. I imagined myself running that 5K, running through the finish line, looking at my watch, looking down at my watch, and seeing the time of 23, running the 5K in 23, or not 23, sorry, 33 minutes. That was my goal. So I imagined myself over and over again, every single day, running the race, finishing the race, throwing up my arms that I did it, and I did it in the time that I wanted to have. So make sure that you have that attitude and that belief in yourself that you can do it. So much of reaching your goals, whether it's workouts, nutrition, weight loss, or whatever, so much of it is psychological. It's a really big part, and people they think that they just show up at the gym, it's going to happen, but it's all right here, because when you're having a bad day, it's so easy to just not work out, to not eat healthy, to not do the things that you want to do to get you where you want to go. And it'll sabotage your efforts, right? Especially when things aren't going great. So I want to touch on sleep really quick. And I think it's kind of the forgotten health transformation secret. I really do. And I don't think people give it enough credence. But getting that, they always say in 8 hours of sleep. I think it's even better if you can get more than that. If you can get like 9 hours of sleep. And sometimes it's hard with our crazy busy schedules. But if you do get that rest and you let your body heal, you're going to be ready to show up for the workout at the gym. You're going to be ready to show up for your job, position at your job. You're going to be ready to show up for your family and be able to help them and be the best mom, wife that you can be. There was a study done, I don't even know when it was, a long time ago, and they said that people who didn't get enough sleep ate an average of 385 more calories the next day. So think about that for just a second. I know that everyone on here on the call has got a very good sleep one night, not feeling good, your mood is crappy. That next day, what do you want? You want comfort food. Really? You want the pizza, you want the bread, you want that kind of stuff because you're not feeling good, you're tired, and you're ornery and moody. So I believe it. I think it definitely has some credence because I know when I don't feel good and tired, I tend to have bad moods. I'm not going to, keep with my goals. I'm not going to keep with my nutrition. And you guys, sleep is so important for the recovery of those muscles. It's just huge, right? Those workouts, you're tearing down the muscles. You're going home and you're putting your protein and your good things into your body, but those muscles need recovery, and really true recovery is a good night's sleep and even a nap if you can get in a power nap. So, is there some other things that you would like to add, JoJo, or questions or?
No, I think that was great. It gives us some ideas of, I don't think we give sleep enough attention.
So I completed a precision nutrition course about 6 months or a year ago. And in there they had, I'm serious, a whole chapter on getting good rest and good sleep and things to do because sleep is so important for recovery. And I had never thought that much about it.
Mm. Just as an off sidebar, between 1 and 3 every night, our body goes through its own natural detox. So if we're not sleeping well and we're not sleeping through that time, it's actually more of a stressor on our body because your body needs to be asleep to be able to go through that process every single night at a high level.
Oh, that's cool.
So, right?
Yeah.
So anybody have a question? I know we're coming up on time and I don't want to run over. But that was really great. So when we think about proteins, what would be if we're let's say somebody who's on they're working out a little bit, maybe 3 times a week, not doing a whole lot, but so when we're looking at how much protein we're getting in every day or how many times a day we're eating as far as fuel is concerned, do you go by the rule of, a 5 to 6 meal a day thing?
Not necessarily. For someone who's not working out a lot or really hard, I don't think they have to necessarily have 5 or 6. I would keep it more like maybe 4 or something like that. They don't have quite that demand. So not all. I don't even believe in counting calories. I don't believe at all. It's what you're putting good food into your body, and calories aren't the same. So fat calories, a gram of fat or the same portion of a fat has 9 calories versus a protein or a carbohydrate that has 4 calories. Mm. So when you sit down and you have your good fats, you want to have your good fats, but you want to look at that and realize, that it has a higher calorie. But again, I don't really count calories that much. I really focus on putting good food into my body. And then you don't have to count calories, mm-hmm. right? Because you can sit down and have I don't even know, a bad food can be low calorie or the same calorie as a good nutrient food, but you don't get any benefit out of it. So you're hungry, within 30 minutes or an hour, you're hungry and you need to to eat again. So if you're putting good food in your body, you don't necessarily always have to eat quite as often if you're not an elite athlete, right? Or you're not working out constantly.
Mm-hmm. It's a good point of not all calories are equal, right? So even if it's the same 100 calories, if it's all one kind of calorie, all fat calories instead of protein and carbs, that's going to be, that my body's going to utilize that in a whole different way.
Yes, in a whole different way. And you can, I mean, even, they say that even, so you can, eating fat doesn't necessarily, it's not going to make you fat, right? But if you eat way too much, anything that you eat too much of goes to fat. Your body can only process so much at a time. It can only metabolize so much, and anything will go to fat. And even they say even protein can, if you eat way too much protein, that it can be stored as fat as well. But again, that's not something you need to worry. Most people don't eat too much protein. They eat too many carbs or bad fats, right?
Right. True. Questions? Anybody? Thoughts? Lori's giving you a thumbs up.
Thanks, Lori. I would just, if I were you, and you're curious about learning more, just go on the internet. Just go on I subscribe to like Wellness Mama and a whole bunch of different ones like that. I'm just a sponge for learning.
That's great. And we learn, we get little tidbits from everyone that we meet and everyone that comes into our life. And we're constantly learning. So every single day I learn something new. It's just the way that it's good because we're always transforming. We're always being better every day. So, right. Liddy, we have 1 minute. Do you want to say hi to everybody? Uh-oh, wait a minute. Let me unmute you. Wait on. Okay, there you go.
Hey, everybody.
Hi, Liddy. How are you?
Hey, it was awesome. I'm like taking notes. Like, I know all this stuff. Like, or I shouldn't say I know all this stuff, but that there's a couple little tidbits that you always just like pick up, and it's like, oh yes, too much of, my father would always say, too much of anything is a bad thing. He said, and you can die from drinking too much water. So he said, just don't, ever keep that always in mind. It's the balance of everything. So
right.
I like that you were talking about, like, too much of a good thing, turns into fat anyway. So why would you do so by way of taking too much protein? But it can turn up that fat burning furnace when you get to that point.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that was great. And I love the sleep part.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Right?
It's the REM sleep. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You got it. How do we get there? Yeah. Good stuff.
Meditation. Everybody breathe in.
That's my goal, is meditation and yoga. Okay, Jojo, that's my goal for this year.
I'm with you.
To up my yoga, because that's another thing that's super important is that movement, those muscles, and yoga is so important. And I'm one of those high strung go people. So yoga is so hard for me. It's so difficult. And that's another thing I want to master.
Right. Me too. Mona, did you have your hand up?
I did. I have a question about when you transitioned from being a half marathoner to a 5K person. Did you have to adjust, or how long did it take for you to adjust your intake? Or was there a food intake adjustment when you decreased your miles?
No, I didn't really. I didn't ever stop doing the half marathons. I just added the 5Ks in there. And it's just a different kind of training. You're training for speed rather than endurance. So I just did lots of the same running no matter which race I did. But that's a good point, Mona, is you really have to, based on your level of workouts and your goals, you have to adjust your calories, because I so in the beginning when I started training for half marathons, I was running a lot more than my body was used to. So I was burning a lot more calories. And in running, especially when you run marathons and things like that, your body becomes very adept at kind of that homeostasis, very adept at the calories and the food. And it becomes this really good machine, efficient machine is what I'm trying to say. So I kept eating like I was in the beginning, because at the first I was burning so many extra calories. I would just eat anything and everything in sight. Well, pretty soon my body became very efficient at running, right? So it didn't burn as many calories. So I either had to change my workouts and start doing more of the HIIT workouts with the high intensity up and downs that you do. I had to throw a lot of those in there, because my body got so efficient at running. I didn't need the calories anymore that I was doing. And I started actually putting on weight, because you'll see runners, you're thinking, okay, that person runs 40 miles a week. They ought to be pretty stick thin, right? But your body does get super efficient, and it doesn't require as many calories. So you have to kind of back off on the food.
Yeah.
That's what I found out.
That's such a great point. And
Thank you.
we'll post that. I think we should post it more about that in a group, because I think that's a really important point of the calorie adjustment. But we're at time, and so I'm going to hold to we're actually over time, but I'm going to hold to our promise of 30 minutes, and want to thank you, Kathy, for stepping in tonight and just sharing that information. Anytime we're talking about food and diet and calories, you have all of our attention, because it's where we're focused on all the time. And so thank you so much for your knowledge and your information. And everybody, Joe, Kathy, big kiss.
Thank you, ladies.
See you next week. Bye, girls.
Yeah.